average person who doesn't work out, doesn't know how to push his body, doesn't do this.
Right.
That's not us. It's not a sprint. It's a grind. You got to do it day in and day out and keep getting wins.
That was my deal. I would have got it.
Smile, dial, and make a pile. Okay, that's my slogan. There's a million of them.
Only a few people succeed at a high level.
Hey everybody, Mark McKenna. Welcome to our 2023 first episode of The Real Hustle. Happy New Year to everybody. And so this episode's going to be a little different than most. And I think it's kind of we're a real estate based podcast. We have a lot of different guests who talk about motivation and different things. And, I try and really keep my staff motivated. I mean, one of the key things that a team leader or a broker or wrecker, whatever you want to call it, should do is really stay on top of their team to make sure they're on track, okay? So, and, we do year-end meetings with our agents to make sure, any questions they have or problems or concerns moving forward. But what we really do is we really just break down their daily schedule. So, we had a lot of people over the last month and a half, send in some questions of like, all right, so I've been doing real estate for 18 months, been doing this, I've been in it 10 years. So, and they send in some questions. So we want to answer those questions for a lot of people because I think there's a lot of great questions out there. And one of the things someone wrote, it was about me, is what is your personal goal of yours for 2023? Besides my health issues, I try not to really talk about too much personal stuff and of what I'm doing at work and, different things. But, since someone wrote the question, I'm going to answer it. So, our office makeup of our group, our goal for 2023 is 500 transactions. So if we do 500 plus transactions, our office will have a $200 million year. I've never broken the $200 million barrier. I think, when we broke $100 million, I was like jumping up and down. I think $200 million is very doable. And, we've been wound up really well. I always tell everybody that the most important time of the year is from Halloween till probably end of February, because they're your tough months. I mean, they really are. And most realtors, and don't take offense to what I'm about to say, most realtors fall asleep on Halloween because they think nothing happens. Where we crank it up and crank it up. Some of our best quarters we've ever had have been in the fourth quarter, which is just amazing. So, that's what we really focus on those months and stay on top of it. And I think with the foundation that we have going into 2023, I think we're going to obtain that goal. And I have to tell you, the team that we built at the office, I couldn't be happier. From our inside salaried people, it's like an all-star team of people that we have assembled, and our sales force with constantly training and staying on top of them and coaching them through different situations is going to get us to that personal goal of 2023. So that's our personal goal. Another question. What do you typically focus on at the beginning of the year? Okay. Well, I think everybody does the same stupid stuff. Like, I want to lose weight. I want to do this. I want to put. So I think the main thing that you need to focus on in the beginning of the year, you should have been doing it since November, but your schedule, because everybody gets out of whack in December from Thanksgiving week till New Year's. Your schedule isn't what it used to be. You're at a party, you're home, you got family coming over, this happens, you're eating too much. So your schedule is so important. I mean, I can't even stress it enough. Like I'm trained, I know I got to be in the office between 8:15 to 8:30. Sometimes I get stuck in my car on the phone for 25 minutes and I'll come in at 8:45. But if I ever came in at 9:30, 10 o'clock, I would be so behind the eight ball. You got to stick to your schedule, okay? And one of the things that I notice when I make all the agents write out their schedule, and So, and what they're doing during the day, what their day consists of. Okay. Making a post on social media to me is not working as a real estate agent. Absolutely not. Checking emails, that's like clerical stuff. Working in real estate is income producing things. Okay? Prospecting, mail pieces, door knocking, past clients, for sale by owners, expired. That's what you need to do 65-70% of your day. Because the one thing that I notice for agents who sell 10, 11 houses a year, if I really followed them around and saw how much time was dedicated towards income producing things, I would tell you it's probably less than 5-6 hours a week. That's a stretch. I mean, think about that. 5-6 hours a week, you're doing things that make you money. Okay? And, talking to the people at the front desk and checking your emails and what happens when you go on your social media and make a post? You don't even realize it. You get in this rabbit hole and you just lost 30, 45 minutes. And we've all done it. You do it at work, you do it at home, you're trying to your wife's looking at you, your husband, like what the, you don't do that stuff. If you spent 30 to 35 hours 6 days a week doing income producing things, your income would triple. It's that easy. It's that simple. I mean, you got to be disciplined though. Okay? So that's the one thing, that the schedule and doing things in that schedule that are income producing. Okay? Here's another question for me. What or who holds you accountable? Okay. Best thing I ever did, 1999, hired a real estate coach, Mike Ferry organization. This morning, I had a call at 8:30 a.m. with the Mike Ferry organization. So this is my 24th year that I've been with them, and obviously it works. And, I take that same mindset and how I'm coached through this, and I share it with my agents. Sometimes my agents go on my coaching calls. If I see somebody who's either struggling or is doing great, who needs to take it to the next level. But, if you don't have to go out and pay for coaching. You don't have to. It can be expensive. So I think Mike Ferry is $1,000 a month. Times 12, times 24, that's a lot. Okay? It's worth every penny. Every damn penny I've ever paid. It's worth it. So there's your plug, Mike. I hope you enjoyed that. We'll tag you on this too. So, but I try and do things in my office where, hey, let's meet every 2 weeks. So if you have a problem, if you're in a rut, let's talk about your buyers. Let's talk about your struggles. Let's come up with strategies. I had an appointment today with one guy, and one of my agents. We needed 15 minutes of my time, and he wanted to ask me, what am I saying on these calls? We went over scripts. And he's asking me questions, and I looked at him. I go, are you kidding me? You know the answer. You got to put the time in, okay? I had one agent call me on January 3rd. I made 30 calls, and 29 people hung up on me, and, or 29 people didn't answer, and one person hung up on me. What do I do? Really? Day one? You keep calling. You keep calling people. Call your sphere of influence. Call the expireds. Call for sale by owners. Hand out just listed. Hand out just sold flyers. Call those areas. That's how you build an amazing database with other tools that your office can give you. Okay, so having a coach and having a team leader or a broker who's actually concerned about what you're doing. That's the key thing. So if your manager or team leader or broker is strolling out of the office at 12 o'clock, probably not the one who's giving you right attention. Coming in at 8:30 and rolling out at 12, and the rest of the day they're on their cell phone. You want those one-on-ones where you can sit in the office, talk to somebody, and not for nothing, okay, make sure your team leader or your broker has sold a lot of real estate in their day. Because they haven't, then they don't know what it takes to get done. I mean, that to me is probably one of the biggest problems I see out there is, most managers become managers because they didn't make a lot of money in real estate. If you can find a manager or team leader who's sold a ton of real estate, you're going to be in good shape. Okay, you should learn from those people. Okay, sometimes you could put your own spin. Some people, like I'm an old school phone guy, pounding the phone, smile, dial, make a pile. You've heard me say that a million times. Okay, but when you mix it in with technology and doing different things, it's a great mix. You know what that equals? It equals a lot of volume. Okay, so that's what you want to do. When you want to get in that 120, 140, 160 million, that's what you need to do. Another question. What is one piece of advice for an agent who wants to try something new going into 2023? Number one, don't spend a lot of money. Everybody thinks they're going to spend money and get fast results. That does not happen. This is not a sprint, okay? It's a friggin' marathon. It's a marathon. You don't get instant results on, if you're going to go on Zillow or Realtor.com, you might get some leads, but you're going to pay at the nose for them. Now, I'm a Zillow guy. I'm not going to argue. We're a part of the Flex program. It's been great for us. We're partners with Zillow. They take an interest in what we do, but it's not the answer for your entire business. It's just not. So, and I have been actually telling some people lately, get back to basics because inventory is so difficult to get. Spend some money. Go do some mail pieces. Pick an area that has a lot of transactions each year. Don't go to a community that has 3 sales a year because if you're 33% of the market share, you're going to get 1 sale. It's not what you want. You want someone that has a lot of turnover, get exposure, get step-up buyers. That's what you want, okay? So be careful on spending a lot of money because it's not always the answer. I will tell you this, and I'm not going to, hide from mistakes that I made. I've spent a lot of money on some really stupid shit in real estate. I mean, just flat out dumb. And I thought it was good, and, we pull the plug quick when we see, a lot of these companies will sell you stuff, promise you this, this, and this, and then you never hear from them again, but you do see them every month on your credit card. So just be careful what you're spending. What is one thing you can safely say is a waste of time and money for real estate agents? Well, excuse me. What is a waste of time for real estate agents? I would think these monthly based subscriptions for leads are the absolute worst. That's the first question I get calls all the time. And I'll say, are you referral based or monthly based? We're monthly based. I'm like, click. I hang up. Okay? Because you're not going to get it. If they're giving me leads that we'll convert anything if they're decent leads. I don't mind paying a referral, and it's probably more money for the company if we can close it. But I'm not having someone sitting there paying them $900, $1,500, $3,000 a month to make sure that, and they're just stealing money. They're stealing money. They don't really care if you succeed. They're just taking that check and waiting until you cancel the credit card. Because I've seen everything. So we just tried a new source now. We're 45 days in. The jury's still out, but, from what I hear, it's going to be good. But if I don't see results in 4 to 5 months, I'll probably pull the plug on it because you can't continue to waste money. What should an agent focus on during a market shift? All right. So the one thing I'm going to really be specific about this because this is where the industry struggles. When you say that, it's a full-time agent. There's way, way, way too many part-time people in this business. A full-time agent really feels a lot of pressure during a market shift. I mean, let's think about it. I see what's happening, okay? We're busy as can be, but we still don't have houses to sell. So the key to winning in this business is getting in front of people, okay? And when you get in front of them, you have to know what to say. All right, every Thursday, my Zoom call with Larry, my real estate coach, he holds up a sign before we start. That sign says, talk to people. Okay? That's the key. When you talk to people, and they're going to ask you, this is one of my favorite things over the years. Everybody say, you can ask everybody in your office, whoever, say, how's the real estate market? And everybody says, oh, it's good, it's not bad. Or they say, oh, it's terrible, it's terrible. That's not the answer you give to somebody. Because you're going to get, oh, okay. If someone asks you, how is the real estate market? You say, well, actually, it's a good question. I'm looking for people who would actively looking to sell or buy houses. Do you happen to know anybody? Well, they're going to say no. No big shit. Who cares? Someone's going to say, you know what? My mom's getting ready to sell her house, or my sister's getting a divorce, or whatever's going to happen. And if they say no, you say, I'm just curious. When do you plan on moving? Just make small talk. It catches them off guard, and you're going to get a lot better answers saying, good. Okay? The key to selling anything, I don't care if it's vacuum cleaners, widgets, or real estate, you need to ask questions. If you don't ask questions, you're not going to get any answers, and you're not going to close deals. I mean, it's that friggin' simple. Okay? So when you break the whole thing down, and all these questions are great questions. They really are. So, but if you look at my answers, it's all the same. They all kind of bring back to the same point. Okay? And on the other thing I'm going to tell you I see a lot of, which I crack up, is there's a million people switching offices. I've got a big announcement. I'm doing this. I'm going here. Okay? Ready? All the real estate agents? I mean, if you're not happy with your broker, that's one thing. If they're not doing certain things, look in the mirror. Okay? Look at your schedule. Tell yourself, I'm really working hard 35, 40 hours a week doing income generating things. I mean, are you? I had one guy that I had a one-on-one with. I said, seriously, how many hours you putting in a week? He made like $48,000. I'm like, 6 to 10? He's like, yeah, it's about right. If I'm lucky. I said, imagine if you work 30 to 40. Okay? You have to treat this like a job. You need to come in, get on the phone, and do income generating things. Okay? And if one more person ever tells me, and this is not from my office, you quiet? It's quiet out there. It's as quiet as you make it. Okay? I'm not going to tell you it's not hard. It's extremely hard right now because there's no houses to sell. There isn't. It's like inventory's off by like 80%. The rate hike actually had an adverse effect on what they thought was going to happen. So it bottlenecked up everything even more. So guess what? Prices are not dropping. Our 300 to 500 stuff flying off the shelf, multiple bids, 10 offers, 12 offers still, if the house is nice. If the house is messy and it's not that nice and needs work, it's going to sit there. Okay? But it's what you make of it. You got to go out and make sure. And you got to surround yourself. Like I get agents come up to me all the time and from other offices that I'm friends with. We kind of get together quarterly. And they're like, I'm like, what's the matter? You seem like you're down. He goes, oh, my office, it drives me nuts. They all sit around and complain. And I'm like, and you sit there and listen to it? He's like, yeah. I'm like, that's toxicity in your brain. Like, we do not tolerate that. If someone's just negative and bringing everybody down, here's the answer. You see that? That's the door. This isn't the place for you. We like you, but that's not what we want in our office. Okay? So I don't know if it's, if you have toxicity with your friends or at your office, but that is going to bring you down because my two most important factors in my career are schedule and mindset. That is literally, I'm going to tell you, 95% of the battle. Because every day is like this in real estate. You just sold a big house, fell apart, you sold it, okay? Your mindset has to be so focused for you to succeed, okay? Selling real estate isn't hard. It's just not easy. That's one of my favorite quotes ever. So you got to keep that mindset in there. And, if you're very emotional about when things go the wrong way, you might as well send your license back right now because you're not going to make it. Because the next 365 days, I told my staff this too, is going to be a difficult. There's going to be plenty of transactions. People are buying houses left and right. It's getting to the inventory that's going to be a struggle. So, some people think my approach might be a little too direct. All right. I think it's kind of cut and dry what it is. And I think one of the things that we're trying to do as a culture, and I think some other agencies are starting to do too, is agents need training. They need help and support. More than ever, they need that going into 2023. Because the last 2.5 years were friggin' fantasy land. I mean, you get a house, goes up, you got 74 offers, you're dancing around, you're taking pictures on social media. Look at me. I sold a house, $50,000 over. Guess what? Party's over. Okay? Now you got to work hard, do the right things, and get some price reductions now and then. Have difficult conversations. If you don't know how to do that and you don't know how to have the difficult conversations, you're going to fail. So you need to be somewhere where you get the direction or the help. If you got an agent in your office who's a top agent who's been doing it for 30 years, ask him, hey, I'll take you to lunch. Can I pick your brain? Do something like that. That's the kind of shit you need to do to survive. Okay? There's going to be plenty of people out there this year who are going to sell a lot of real estate. Okay? You need to be one of them. So take down my notes. Look what you say. Look what I said. This is like, and I'm going to tell you one last thing. For 23 years at my real estate coach, I'm not lying. We talk about the same shit every week in a different format. Okay? It's so basic, but you got to stick to it. I got off track. I got on that track in December a little bit, and parties. I got sick, and this was happening, families coming in. But you just have to stay focused and try and get a win every day, once a week. Set your goals. What's your goal? Look at that stuff, stick to it, revisit that every couple weeks. Don't write your goals down. You pick it up in a year and a half, you can't find it. It's under your desk. Look at them every 2 weeks. That's what you need to do. All right? So I hope you got a little bit out of this conversation today with myself. It was fun. We have an awesome guest coming up next week. She's a real estate icon. She's been selling real estate for 45 years, and it should be a funny, interesting conversation. That would be the one and only Eleanor McKenna is going to be our guest here on The Real Hustle. And then we have some really good guests coming up in the future. I'm not going to share any of our secrets here coming up, but I think you guys will like the lineup that we have set up, and I appreciate all the great comments and feedback. Look out, this might be our last one or one of our last shots in this downstairs. We built a new recording studio, so we're looking forward to some really cool stuff on watching this podcast grow. And I appreciate all your time. Have a great new year and go get a win.